At last, it was time to throw off the dock lines, continue the adventure, get back to sea, where I belong. I never talked about COVID in the videos because I feel I'm here to entertain, not to talk about COVID. So I never mentioned it, but of course it did affect me, like it affected everybody else. I was lucky enough to be locked down in New Zealand, a very pleasant place, and in this boatyard, Riverside Drive Marina, which you guys will all be familiar with now. But the yard has a history, and it's a cruising history. Back in the 1960s, the yard was called Orms, and it's frequented by Eric Hiscock and his wife Susan. If you're into cruising history, you'll know who they are. They were early cruisers, and they actually filmed everything they did, so they were bloggers as well. And their boat, or one of them, was built in the yard here at Riverside Drive Marina. This is an actual shot of two of their boats. The one on the right was the one that was built in the marina. Unfortunately, Eric later died in the marina, and I made it my quest not to do the same thing. The Southwest Pacific had the longest lockdown of anywhere in the world, so we had to amuse ourselves. We all became close friends. It was like a family. We had events, barbecues, and even started a band. Fellow cruisers Lisa, Martin and Pele, and of course myself, formed the RDM band. So when people in future times ask, what did you do during COVID? Well, we partied. Party time! Party time! Party time! And then the party was over. It was time to leave. I walked up on the morning that I left, up into the yard, into the place where we'd had so much fun, into the barbecue tent. It was deserted, no one was around. It was early morning, and I got the engine warmed up, and it was time to go. And it was really early in the morning, still dark, so no fanfare, just a few good friends to help me off the dock. I wasn't alone sailing into the darkness of the morning. The sun came up and I'd got my friend Selena on board with me. She was helping and her son was on board. The trip was especially for him, really. He wanted to come on the boat, but he spent most of the time asleep on the couch and refused to be in the video. We were going down the river and heading for this place. This is Marsden Cove. And it was 2.5 years ago when I first sailed into here and into New Zealand. It had been that long. People don't realize just how long we've been locked down. with no place to go. All the other countries around us for 2.5 years were closed. As I edit this video for you now, Solomon Islands and Tonga have only just opened their borders. So many people I need really to thank for their kindness and hospitality while I stayed in New Zealand. But these guys, Chris, Selena, Derek and Andrew, are top of the list. These guys looked after me big time. And together with other friends, generous to the end, spaghetti and booze. That's just what an old sea dog needs. And the weather didn't look too good. Now it was a case of waiting for a weather window. Then at last it was time to untie these bad boys, start the engine and get myself on the road. Or the sea. This has been an awful long time coming. We've been waiting now for nearly 2 months for a weather window to get out of New Zealand. My visa's run out and it's time to go on more than one level. And as much as I love this place, and I would hope to come back here one day, maybe not by boat, it's time to leave. But I am leaving so many good friends. I have made so many friends since I've been here. And I'm a bit shallow. Here we go. A bit close to the land here. Look at this. This is such a long time coming. But we're on the move. We're heading north, back to the tropics, back to the sunshine, and we're going to Fiji. And this is the journey that we're going to do. Really good to have the sails up again. You may remember from a few episodes ago I blew this part of the sail out. Gotta thank Dave from Caliber Sails. If you're ever in New Zealand you need sail work doing, see Caliber Sails Dave, he's the man. Then I noticed something going on at the back here. Maintenance I should have done. I should have changed those tie grips and I didn't do. That had come loose, a potential disaster if I hadn't have seen it. With the weather looking particularly gloomy, I'm anxious to try out something new on the boat. This is the aerial for an Iridium Go. A company called Predict Wind has this weather forecasting system via satellite. So going to try that out on this trip. Hopefully a bit of a game changer. Also got a tracker attached to it. It's good to know that people, friends and relatives ashore will now know where I am at all times. And then in true Adventures of an Old Sea Dog fashion, it didn't take long for the weather to deteriorate. I knew it was going to be another tough passage. At least I'd finally managed to set sail for a new adventure. But as the sun went down, I had to hope for better weather and a better day on the morrow. And then there were more things I should have done before I left. It's all in preparation, and sometimes I'm really bad at that. Got the life jacket out and trying this new harness for a change. and also there's my old harness strops. Got them out, and then I found that I got a problem with them. They were seized up. They're not really supposed to do that. Those clips are supposed to spring back. It's all about safety. There's a safety thing, so you shouldn't be able to open it. And you press that down, then you release it. It should click back like that. And the one here doesn't do that. So got to sort that out. This is stuff I should have really done before I left.
There she goes. That's got to flip back by itself, and the second one here has to do the same thing. That's good.
A problem I knew I had, and I was due to fix in Australia later on, was that the batteries were going bad on me, and I had to run the radio. I got the Iridium system there. I had to run that. Lots of stuff. The AIS, that's also important to have on all the time. A lot of stuff, and it's all got to run, and it goes through these things. These are what used to be old cigarette lighter sockets in cars. They backed into this little cupboard here, and they were getting hot, these ones. And I got paper and stuff in there, and I thought that is definitely a fire risk, so I had to move that stuff out. Also in the same cupboard as this, my long-distance radio, and that decided it wasn't going to work. I did tests with all the wiring, couldn't figure it out. There was power getting to the unit, but it wouldn't turn on. Another job for later. The first satellite weather reports were coming in, and there were a lot of variables, so I had to wait and see what was going to happen there. But what was good was my new garden. Something else I'm experimenting with is growing some vegetation. These are actually mung beans, and you let them grow till the shoots come like this, and they are yummy. Gives you some fresh greens on board. I was just rejoicing in this beautiful sailing. Not too fast, but comfortable. But was a bit rolly. It was going to be like that for most of the trip. And you can see here the gimbal's working on the cooker. The idea is it keeps the cooker level. I'm not overly keen on gimbals, I gotta say. Got my finger trapped in that thing a few times. I reckon if it's too rock and rolly, you shouldn't be cooking anything. But food is important on a boat. And I use a lot of these, what we call pot noodle kind of things. It's warm, it's quick. Under the spray dodger, it's a little bit more calm. Managed to wedge this in here to show you what's happening. Here is Whangarei. I left here 5 days ago, and I'm actually here now. I'm trying to go to Fiji, which is up there. The wind is coming this way, and the weather, everything is coming down on me like a ton of bricks, and there's another big weather system coming through again. I should have been up here. My friends who left at the same time as me 5 days ago will be way, way, way up here. I got trapped down here because, of course, I'm in a Vanderstadt, and I worked out I've done 42 miles. It's taken, I've only done 212 miles in 5 days. That's all I've done. It's unreal. Some of the big boats I know will do that in a day. And I've got all that way to go to get up there, and I've only just started. This is not good. Look, you see, and even I'm going backwards. I tried to see what the plot was, and I'm actually going slightly backwards at the moment. It's pushing me back, so yes, I'm going backwards. there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I call it doing the line. You tack one way and you try to get up and that doesn't work, so you tack back the other way, it doesn't work, you just end up going up and down a line. It's happened to me before with this boat. In rough sea she won't point into the wind very well, because she hits the sea and it just turns her again. She's got a deep draft and a big belly, a lot of wetted area, and that kind of sticks to the waves as it is, and stops, boom. Every time I hit a wave she stops. So it's upsetting, but there's nothing I can do about it. I do have satellite weather on board now, and the weather's going to change. The wind will change at some point. It was supposed to change more than it has. It was supposed to change so that I could actually point the boat up into the north from here. That's not happened. I'm just sailing west at the moment. East. I've been sailing west all day, so I'm just going back along the track I've already sailed. I'm making no headway at all. So that's it. That's it for day 5. And it's quite rough. It's the boat's going up and down, falling into holes and falling off waves and stuff. I put my side dodger thing up. I met a homemade one just to stop the spray coming in, because we've already had a few waves come over. Not big waves. I mean spray, not waves. Spray come over. So just to stop myself getting drenched, and I put that up, and I hope that's going to do a bit of work. And I'm going to settle down for the night now. That's it. The joys of sailing. This is soul destroying, but I mustn't let it get. I've been in this situation before. You mustn't let it get to you. There's absolutely nothing I can do. Nothing I could do. I could put maybe more sail up and power my way through, but that would be putting an enormous strain on the boat, and it would be very, very rough. And I'm single-handed. It makes a big difference when you're by yourself. So I'm just hunkering down now. Look at this. Jeez. You missed it. Every time I see something that's really good, point the camera, it stops, and everybody goes, it doesn't look that rough. It is, it's rough. Every so often I'd go below for a respite from the wind and download the latest satellite weather. And every time I did so, it didn't change. It was always bad. The wind in the wrong direction. This morning I'm actually on the run. There's some more nastiness coming, and it's very nasty. And I'm a tad worried about this one.